What's going on, everybody? My name's Rocky. You're watching Metal McIntyre, and today I'm going to see Blitzkid for the third time on their Escape the Grave tour. So I figured, what better time than to do this video, which I've been putting off forever. It's a follow-up to the Lady in the Lake bass cover I did when I first got this bass in the mail, however long ago that's been. People have wanted me to do an instruction video for Lady in the Lake and how to play the bass line, so here it is. You can take a lot of the information from this and apply that to guitar. If you're just following like the root notes, just play the power chords along to what the bass is playing, and pretty soon you'll be able to cover this song. I don't know how to play the solo though. I'm not a guitar player. So the song starts out with this riff here. That riff just follows this really simple chord progression. It's like the Iron Maiden chord progression. Iron Maiden uses this in most of their songs. It starts on the 7th fret, the A string, moves down to the 3rd fret on the A string, over to the 3rd fret on the E string, and then back over to the A string onto the 5th fret. And all Goolsby's doing here is just kind of arpeggiating, essentially, between the root and the 5th. Except for on the last note, but we'll get to that. So if you don't know how to find the 5th of a scale, or the 5th of a root, I guess, you go 2 frets up from the root note and then 1 string over. So the 5th of 7 on A would be 9 on D. So you just toggle between those two notes with that little strumming pattern there, and you move it up to the 3rd fret on A, exactly the same, and then you move it over to the 3rd fret on E, but this time the strumming pattern changes a little. It goes something like this. And after that you move to the 5th fret on A, and this is where, instead of toggling between the root and the 5th, it toggles between the root and the 4th with like a little run down to the 3rd. So yeah, all together, slow, that would be. Pretty simple. And now the verse follows that exact same chord progression. Just you don't play the 5ths, you're just playing the root notes, except for on the last measure where Goolsby switches from the 5th fret on the A string to the 5th fret on the E string. So the verse goes like. So yeah, pretty simple, just 8th notes, just playing along to that. And then after the first verse, it goes back to that riff from earlier, except there's a slight variation. So everything in that variation of the riff is the same, except for when you switch to the 3rd fret on the E string. And instead of hitting the 3rd fret on the E string for the last beat in the measure, you hit the octave, which is 2 frets down and 2 strings over. So yeah, all together slow, that would sound like. So it's a subtle variation, but I like it. I like the intrigue it creates in the song. And there's something interesting in the bridge where Goolsby switches between the first variation and the second variation, and I really like that. So after that, it goes back into the verse exactly the same as before, and then after that verse, we go into the pre-chorus, which is the 3rd fret on the A string, the 7th fret, and then the 5th fret. first half of the pre-chorus, and then it switches over where it goes. So that goes from the 3rd fret on A, 3rd fret on E, then to the 5th fret on A and the 7th. And then it slides down, hits that 5th fret on the way back to the 3rd fret. And then it ends with just holding out the 5th fret on A again. So altogether slowly, that would be... Once again, it's just using the same chords, it's just changing up the order in which they're played, which is a really good composition technique. One of the things that I think makes Blitzkid so great is their ability to take the same chord progression and move it around and change it and create interesting melodies over it, just like Iron Maiden. Like I said, Iron Maiden uses this chord progression in almost every one of their songs. And then after that, you get the chorus. Which is 3rd fret to the 5th fret, well, 3rd fret on E, 5th fret on A, 7th fret on A, 3rd fret on A, and then it's the same, except instead of playing the 3rd fret on A for the last note, you go back down to the 5th fret on A for the last note. So altogether slowly, that would be... So then after that, it goes into the bridge, which this is where Goolsby toggles between the first variation of the main riff and the second variation of the main riff. So I'm just going to play them the way it's played on the recording, and then just refer back to earlier if you need a refresher on how to play this. So it goes like... It just goes back into the pre-chorus, back into the chorus, and then the outro is a little bit different. It's follows the same chord structure, except the way Goolsby ends it is differently. I actually hadn't quite figured out how to play this when I did that cover. It's not exactly easy discerning the notes all the time in a Blitzkid recording. Don't get me wrong, 5 Cells Below sounds great. But when Goolsby has a very particular rhythm to his playing that doesn't quite make sense to my brain. So it's hard to pick out just listening to the recordings exactly what he's playing. I could figure out the notes, but he's got this weird swing to his picking. I don't know how to describe it, but it's so interesting. It's just hard to replicate. But I found a video of them playing Lady in the Lake on this tour, and I'll link that in the description below. He plays the main riff a little bit differently, actually, in that video, I noticed, but listening to the recording, the way it's recorded in studio is the way that I play it. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I've spent a lot of time listening to the original mix and master from 5 Cells Below and the 2012 remix and master where the bass is more audible, and it's definitely the way that I play it. So but he does play it a little bit differently live now. I don't know why. Maybe it's easier. Maybe he just didn't remember. Who knows? But yeah, go watch that video. I'll link it in the description, like I said, so that you can look at his playing and like see for yourselves. And the way he plays this end bit is like. So that's the 7th fret on A down to the 3rd fret on A, and then he does this run. So it goes from 3rd fret to the 5th fret on A to the 4th fret on D, and then up to the 5th fret on D. And then, so for that, he's hitting the 5th of this note, the 3rd fret on A, so he's hitting the 5th fret on D, and then going to the 3rd fret on A. Like that. And then toggles between the, I guess tonically, this is the root of this passage, is this G flat here, and he toggles between what would be the root and what would be the 7th, so it's like. I know I'm doing a lot of music theory terms, I'm sorry, it's just the way my brain works, but I'll try to break it down into frets. So it's the 7th fret on A, 7th fret, or 3rd fret on A, and then it does this run from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret on A, then to the 4th fret to the 5th fret on D. And then from D, it's. So it goes from the 5th fret on D to the 7th fret on D down to the 5th fret on A. Just like that. And then from there, it's the 5th fret to the 4th fret, and then 5th fret, 4th fret, all on D, down to the 7th fret on A, and then to the 5th fret on A, and then the passage repeats. So that part would be like. That makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining it to the best, but I've tried to play it slow so that you could really discern like the notes that I'm playing, like kind of the rhythm that it's going for. This is it all at full speed. So that's at least what I got from watching that video of him playing it live. I was paying attention to his fingers and just the way it sounds, and I think that is as close to the way it's played on the album as I'm ever going to figure it out. Because like I said, it's kind of hard to discern. I can pick out the notes, but I can't exactly pick out the rhythm. But by watching that video, I was able to figure it out, and I hope by watching this video, you're able to figure it out. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below if you're having trouble with the song or if you got it. If you got it, post a cover of it, send it to me. I would love to see that. And let me know if there's any other Blitzkid songs you want me to do tabs for, or not tabs because that takes a lot of effort. But another video like this for. There's a couple ones that I could do. And then I'm always willing to learn more songs. So if there's something that I don't know how to play, but you asked me to play it and I can figure it out, I'll do a video on it. That would be cool. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor and go check out my band. We're called Trapp Collision. We opened up for Blitzkid in Richmond earlier this year, which was like an amazing experience in my life. So that was awesome to, just to experience. I don't know what else to say, but you should go check out our new album, Watch the Skies, if you like horror punk and you like stuff that's like a little more interesting. I would say it's very varied in our sound. Like we don't write the same song over and over again, like a lot of bands tend to do. Uh, don't mean to shit talk on other bands, but like you know, I think what we have is really good, and I think that you guys would enjoy it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for making it to the end of this video where I just lose my entire composure. But I hope you're able to learn the song, and I'll see you guys next time.